Hey YouTube, here we are back for another review. Today we're taking a look at the Warrior RDA from Wotofo. You guys may notice we're back to a blank wall. You know what my toddler decided to do? He decided it was fun to rip my posters, literally rip them off the wall. So yeah, if anyone wants to send me some new posters to go on my wall here for some free promotion, feel free to send them my way. Anyway, let's dive into it. Let's have a close-up look at the Wotofo Warrior RDA by JMT Elite and Wotofo. So here's the box. I have the rainbow version here. All the labelling on the side of the box. On the bottom here we have the kit contents, the Warrior RDA, use manual, 510 drip tip adapter, extra 810 drip tip, Japanese cotton, bag of coils, extra O-rings and a single coil adapter. On the other end, of course, you have the authenticity scratch me. Let's open it up. These Wotofo boxes are always a little bit of a tight fit. There we go. Bit of a jiggle, and here we go. So we have the rainbow version. We have a nice drip tip here with a bit of knurling on it. Here is the deck itself. You get your 810 to 510 drip tip adapter. You also get a little spare drip tip, 810 drip tip of course. Always a little bit tricky to get these ones out. There we go. Get a nice rainbow drip tip. In the box you will also get, of course, your instruction user manual. We'll have a quick look. Different languages. Gives you a little bit of an example of the different sorts of builds that will fit nicely in here and how to wick. Wotofo also includes some of their new agglutted cotton. Ooh, and look at the cool coils. Look at these coils you get. Wotofo includes for you 3 juggernauts, N80, 0.28 ohms. Beautiful. We're going to chuck in these for sure. Here is your little baggie of O-rings. Here, of course, you have this little piece here that can turn the RDA into a single coil. A little tool, hex tool, spare screws, and of course your BF standard 510 pin. Wotofo also include a little screwdriver for you. The top cap here is nice and domed. As you can see, the center barrel piece here can be moved to open and close up that airflow. The spare drip tip is a little bit shorter than the one that comes on it with all the knurling, but at least you have a little option there. I'm going to go with the coloured one for the moment. The deck itself is a clamp style deck, Phillips head screws, not a whole big juice well, but when you do put the top cap on, it does form a little bit of a juice well. We also have these little edges here on either side of the clamps, which makes it easy to just slide the legs of your coils in there and to build on. So this one has been designed by builders for builders. So we'll see how we go with these supplied juggernaut coils. They look pretty good. On the bottom, of course, you have the Warrior RDA, JMT logo, and Wotofo's logo, of course, too. Comes pre-installed already with the bottom feed pin in there. I'm going to open up this little baggie and I'm going to swap that one out because I'm not going to use it as a squonker just at the moment. And then you kind of think, how am I going to get those up there because they're not spring-loaded? But don't worry, that's what these little curves here are along the edges. That's what the ridges are for, to make those pop up. So, let's put the first one in. Nice and easy, just slid right in there. Now your airflow on this one is going to be coming all from the sides of your top cap. You'll see what I mean when we put it all together. I'm going to have them out a little bit from the posts. The Warrior RDA on top of the Warriors mod. I think that looks pretty super matchy. Let's go back up top. Have a vape on this. The Warrior RDA from Wotofo. Specs. The Warrior RDA has a 25mm diameter and a height of 33mm, made out of stainless steel with a weight of 45 grams. The Warrior has a domed top cap for superior flavour. There is also grooved clamps for easy coil installation. Colours, you can get this in black, gunmetal, the rainbow that I have here, stainless steel, blue, gold. Each RDA also has a fully painted deck. In the rainbow, it is just the stainless steel, but the blue one has a blue deck, which looks pretty cool. With building in mind, the Warrior RDA has been designed to accommodate those large bulky builds without any fiddling. The dome top cap of the Warrior compresses that vapour and provides some pretty intense flavour, while the beehive style airflow on each side provides some massive clouds. The Warrior RDA has a fairly loose draw. It's very airy. You can of course restrict that airflow quite a bit because we do have a lot of airflow on each side. I find it really smooth. With 24 holes on each side, there is a lot of air hitting those coils, so you should be able to get some pretty good clouds from the Warrior. The top cap can be adjusted to turn down your airflow, although at times I do find it a little bit stiff, so maybe a bit of e-juice in there would help with that. The top cap is actually made from a thicker stainless steel than that of the barrel, which means it does a pretty good job at dissipating any heat. Of course, the main feature in this Warrior RDA is that amazing clamp style deck that has little grooves in there for you to easily slot in the ends of your leads. Round wire, flat wire builds, large parallels, they will all fit really well in here. There is a lot of space in the Warrior for building and wicking. Wicking the Warrior is fairly easy because, as I said, there is so much space to put your wicking. The barrel forms a sort of juice well in there. There isn't a lot of depth, but when the barrel's on the top, this does actually have a pretty good juice capacity. I'm going to drip some now, and I bet you by the end of the video, we've still got plenty of juice in here. So to me, that's one of the best things about this RDA is that you really shouldn't be getting any dry hits, and you can put a lot of juice in this thing. The other beauty is I have not had any leaking problems with this RDA, which is strange because as you saw, I just put a shit ton of juice down that trip tip. And yeah, we're all good. The deck in the Warrior is obviously a clamp style. It does use Phillips head screws, which I find a little bit fiddly at times, but it's definitely one of the better clamp style systems I've used. Large flat wire builds, round wire, claptons, exotic coils, they all work equally well in this RDA. Wotofo includes some 3mm Juggernaut coils in NI80 with this, and they were pretty good quality. I was getting some really nice flavour, although I did find them a little bit slow to ramp up. So I've chucked a lot of different builds in here, but the one that I ended up with, which I'm really loving in here at the moment, is some of those tank coils. Loving these coils. Great flavour, and some nice clouds too. At 0.15 ohms. The Warrior RDA comes pre-installed with the bottom feed pin. It makes a really great squonker. I found the O-rings to be a really good quality. There wasn't too much resistance when you're putting the top cap on and off, which is really good because I have come across some O-rings that are just maybe slightly too big and make the top cap really stiff. Pros. There is a lot of space in the Warrior for building and wicking. The deck is really easy to build on, and I can fit all of my exotic and large flat wire builds in here. I'm usually not much of a fan of Phillips head screws, but the ones in here just work really well. I haven't had any issues with them. Those little angled edges on your clamps. A small design feature, but one that really does help with the ease of building. Another pro for me, of course, is that they did do a domed top cap in this one, and I do get better flavour with domed top caps. Points for that. Cons. Now, although I love the Warrior RDA for building, I still kind of feel that the Recurve, the single coil Recurve, does have a slight edge in flavour still. But the clouds you get from this are insane. The only other con for me was that the included coils were really good, produced some good flavour, but they just took a bit too long to ramp up. The Warrior is just a good RDA that works the way it should and produces some pretty awesome clouds. Bottom line, it's hard to find any faults with the Warrior RDA. This thing has definitely been built for builders by builders. If you're into building and taking those beautiful close-up macro shots, this deck is definitely a good one for that. I like how they have the JMT logo and the Wotofo logo printed inside the deck as well. It just looks really good when you've got a great set of coils on there. Today I'm using the Warrior on my Smyant Chiron Mini, but I have actually been using this on my Viking mech, and when this is on a Viking mech with a build of 0.1 to 0.15, this thing hits hard and pumps out those clouds. If you are going to be chain vaping on this, you may find it getting a little warm, but the extra thick top cap does do a good job at dissipating the heat. I prefer using the resin drip tip just because I like to be all matchy, but the black one included has a slightly bigger height. So if you're getting a little bit of heat or too much heat from the top cap, try the black drip tip. Honestly, I really love the Warrior. I've been using this on my regulator devices, my mechs, my squonker. It really is a good all-round RDA. I can't fault the flavour, I can't really fault the design of it because it all just works really well. I think the Recurve has a slight edge on the flavour, but at the same time, the flavour on this is not bad. And of course, that is very dependent on the type of coils and the build that you've got in here. So I'm running this at the moment at 81 watts, 0.15 ohms with some tank coils. So I'm getting some pretty good flavour and clouds. Warrior RDA from Wotofo. Go check it out. That's all from me today, folks. Thanks for watching. If you did like this video, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you liked the content. Also hit that notification bell so you know when I've uploaded a new video. Keep it cloudy, YouTube.